The shattered trust commander, Alina Vasquez, stood on the observation deck of the EU's Harmony, watching 5 different alien fleets converge on the neutral space station orbiting Centauri Prime. The sight should have filled her with pride. After 12 years of careful diplomacy, humanity had finally earned its place among the great powers of the galaxy. The Galactic Alliance had invited Earth to join their council, and today's peace summit would make it official. Alina had spent 3 years preparing for this moment. The human diplomatic fleet consisted of only 8 ships, but each one represented humanity's best technology and finest crews. They carried gifts of human art, music, and scientific research to share with their new alien allies. The delegation included Earth's greatest minds, ready to contribute to galactic civilization. Dr. Marcus Webb, the fleet's chief science officer, joined Alina at the observation window. He was a tall man with graying hair and kind eyes, known throughout human space for his groundbreaking work in quantum physics. Marcus had been instrumental in developing the technologies that first caught the aliens' attention. "Beautiful sight, isn't it?" Marcus said, gesturing toward the assembled fleets. The Krillian Empire's crystalline ships, the Vorthan Federation's bioorganic vessels, the Nexari Collective's geometric formations, each species bringing their unique strengths to the Alliance. Alina nodded, but something felt wrong. Her years as a military officer had taught her to trust her instincts, and right now those instincts were screaming danger. The alien fleets were positioned in perfect attack formations, completely surrounding the human vessels. "Marcus, run a discreet scan on those formations," she ordered quietly. "Something doesn't feel right." Before Marcus could respond, the communication system crackled to life. Ambassador Crix of the Krillian Empire appeared on the screen, his crystalline features gleaming in the station's artificial light. "Commander Buscas, we are ready to begin the ceremony. Please bring your delegation aboard the station." Alina felt her stomach tighten. In all their previous meetings, Ambassador Crix had been warm and friendly. Now his voice was cold, almost mechanical. She looked at Marcus, who was frowning at his scanner readings. "Alina," Marcus whispered, "I'm detecting massive energy buildups in all 5 fleets. Their weapons are charging." The truth hit Alina like a physical blow. The peace summit was a trap. Humanity's new allies had lured them here to be destroyed. She immediately activated the fleet's emergency communication channel. "All ships, this is Harmony Actual. We are under immediate threat. Battle stations, now." The response was instant chaos. Captain Liu, aboard the UES Endeavour, was the first to confirm what Alina already knew. "Commander, the Vorthan ships are locking weapons on us. We're surrounded." Elena's training took over. She had commanded fleets in the war against the Outer Rim pirates, but this was different. This was betrayal on a scale that defied comprehension. The aliens had spent years building trust with humanity, sharing technology and culture, only to lead them into a carefully planned slaughter. "All ships, emergency jump protocols," Alina ordered. "Get us out of here, now." But it was too late. The alien fleets opened fire simultaneously. The space around the human vessels erupted in a storm of energy beams, plasma bolts, and gravitational distortions. The aliens had coordinated their attack perfectly, using their combined technologies to create a deadly trap. The UES Endeavour took the first hit. Captain Liu's ship shuddered as Krillian crystal cannons punched through her shields. Liu's voice crackled over the com. "Harmony, we're taking heavy damage. Shields down to 30%. Alina watched in horror as the 8 human ships fought, desperately against impossible odds. The aliens had brought their entire war fleets to this massacre. Over 400 ships surrounded the tiny human delegation, pouring devastating firepower into their ranks. Dr. Webb was working frantically at his station, trying to coordinate the fleet's defenses. "Alina, I'm detecting quantum torpedoes from the Nexari ships. Our shields aren't designed to handle that kind of exotic matter." The UES Prometheus exploded in a brilliant flash of light. Commander Sarah Torres, one of Elena's oldest friends, died without even having time to scream. The blast wave rocked the Harmony, and Alina felt rage building in her chest like a living thing. "Marcus, get a message drone ready," she ordered. "Full burst transmission to Earth. They need to know what happened here." As the battle raged around them, Alina recorded her final message to Earth. Her voice was steady despite the chaos surrounding her. "This is Commander Alina Vasquez of the EU's Harmony. The Galactic Alliance has betrayed us. This was never a peace summit. It was a coordinated assassination attempt. All 5 species are participating in our destruction. Earth must prepare for war." The message drone launched just as the Harmony's shields failed. Alina watched the tiny probe disappear into hyperspace, carrying humanity's death sentence to the homeworld. She had done her duty. Now Earth would know the truth. The remaining human ships fought with desperate courage, but they were outgunned and outnumbered. One by one, they fell to the overwhelming alien firepower. The UES Endeavour lasted the longest, Captain Liu refusing to surrender even as his ship came apart around him. Elena's final thought as the Harmony exploded was a prayer that humanity would survive what was coming. The aliens had made a terrible mistake. They had shown their true nature, revealed their intentions, and given Earth the greatest gift possible, the knowledge that war was inevitable. The message drone reached Earth 43 hours later. President Sarah Chen was in her office when Admiral Torres burst through the door, his face pale with shock. Chen was a small woman with still grey hair and the kind of presence that commanded attention. She had led humanity through the colonial expansion and the first contact with alien species. "Madam President Torres," said, his voice tight with emotion, "we've received a priority transmission from the Centauri system. Commander Vasquez is dead. The entire diplomatic fleet has been destroyed." Chen felt the world shift beneath her feet. Alina Vasquez had been like a daughter to her, a brilliant officer who represented the best of humanity. What happened? Admiral Torres activated the holographic display, showing Elena's final message. Chen watched in stunned silence as the commander described the betrayal, the coordinated attack, the systematic destruction of human ships. When the message ended, the room was silent except for the hum of the building's life support systems. "How long ago?" Chen asked quietly. "The attack happened 43 hours ago. If they used the same tactics against our colonies..." Torres paused, consulting his datapad. "Madam President, we've lost contact with 17 human worlds. All went dark within hours of the Centauri attack." Chen felt something cold and hard settle in her chest. The aliens hadn't just betrayed humanity's diplomats, they had launched a coordinated genocide against human civilization. Millions of people were dead, entire worlds erased from existence. "Admiral, activate Project Nemesis," she ordered. Torres stared at her. Project Nemesis was humanity's most classified military program, so secret that only 12 people in the entire government knew it existed. "Madam President, are you certain?" The aliens wanted to exterminate us, Chen said, her voice carrying the weight of absolute authority. They've just learned what happens when you try to kill humanity. Activate all phases of Nemesis. I want every ship, every weapon, every soldier we've been hiding. For 12 years, while humanity had been playing the role of peaceful explorers eager to join galactic civilization, a select group of scientists and military officers had been preparing for exactly this scenario. They had never fully trusted the aliens, never believed that cooperation would last forever. Dr. Marcus Webb had been part of that group before his assignment to the diplomatic fleet. His public research into quantum physics had been impressive, but his classified work had been revolutionary. Humanity possessed technologies that the aliens didn't even suspect existed. Project Nemesis had 3 phases. Phase 1 was the construction of a massive fleet of stealth warships hidden in the asteroid belts of the outer solar system. Phase 2 was the development of weapons systems based on principles the aliens had never encountered. Phase 3 was the creation of biological weapons specifically designed to target alien physiology while leaving humans completely unharmed. Dr. Sarah Kim had spent 8 years working on Phase 3. Her laboratory on Europa was officially researching alien biology for peaceful purposes. In reality, she had been developing the most sophisticated bioweapons in galactic history. She had created tailored viruses for each alien species, pathogens that would spread through their populations like wildfire, while being completely harmless to human biology. Asterisk. Admiral Torres activated the secure communication system that connected him to the Nemesis facilities. Within minutes, reports began flooding in from across the solar system. The hidden shipyards had been running at full capacity for years, preparing for this exact moment. Madam President, Torres reported, "We have 800 ships ready for immediate deployment. Stealth destroyers, quantum battleships, and biowarfare vessels, all equipped with technologies the aliens have never seen." Chen stood up and walked to the window overlooking the sprawling city below. Somewhere out there, families were receiving news that their loved ones on the colonies were dead. Children were learning that their parents had been murdered by the aliens they had trusted as friends. "Admiral, I want you to take personal command of the fleet," she ordered. "You have complete authority to use any means necessary to destroy the Galactic Alliance. No prisoners, no negotiations, no mercy." Torres nodded grimly. "What about the other human colonies, the ones that survived?" "Immediate evacuation to fortified systems. Every human, civilian, gets pulled back to defensible positions. We're not just going to war, Admiral. We're going to show the galaxy what happens when you betray humanity." Chen activated the global communication network, preparing to address the entire human species. Her message would be broadcast to every world, every ship, every human outpost in the galaxy. The words she spoke would launch the greatest war in galactic history. "Citizens of Earth and her colonies," she began, her voice carrying across space to billions of human ears. "Today, we learned the true nature of our alien neighbors. The Galactic Alliance has revealed itself as an organization dedicated to human extinction. Our diplomats are dead. Our colonies are burning. Our trust has been betrayed." She paused, letting the weight of her words settle on her audience. "But the aliens have made a fatal mistake. They have shown us their true intentions while leaving us alive to respond. They wanted to exterminate humanity. Instead, they have awakened something they were never prepared to face." The president's voice grew harder. filled with a kind of cold determination that had built human civilization across the stars. We go to war not for conquest, but for survival. We fight not for territory, but for the right to exist. And we will show the galaxy that humanity's answer to treachery is complete and total annihilation. As her words echoed across human space, the hidden fleets began to move. The greatest military force in human history was preparing to emerge from the shadows, carrying weapons that would rewrite the rules of galactic warfare. The aliens had wanted to destroy humanity in a surprise attack. Instead, they had given humanity the justification it needed to become the dominant species in the galaxy. The age of cooperation was over. The age of human supremacy was about to begin. The reckoning begins. Dodd, on the bridge of the UES Nemesis, the largest warship humanity had ever constructed. The ship was 2 kilometers long, armed with weapons that existed only in the nightmares of alien military planners. Around him, the hidden fleet of 800 vessels prepared for the first strike against the Galactic Alliance. The fleet had been moving for 36 hours, using quantum stealth technology that rendered them completely invisible to alien sensors. Dr. Webb's breakthrough in quantum field manipulation had made it possible to bend space-time around the ships, creating perfect invisibility. The aliens would never see them coming. Captain Alex Morrison commanded the stealth destroyer squadron, 40 of the most advanced warships in human space. Each destroyer was equipped with quantum torpedoes that could punch through any known shield technology. Morrison had been training for this moment for 8 years, perfecting tactics that would maximize alien casualties while minimizing human losses. Admiral Morrison reported over the secure channel. All destroyer squadrons are in position. The Krillian home system is completely surrounded. Torres studied the tactical display showing the target system. The Krillians had been humanity's closest allies in the Galactic Alliance, sharing technology and culture for over a decade. Their crystalline homeworld of Krilla Prime was home to 2 billion aliens, along with massive industrial complexes that supplied the Alliance military. Dr. Kim's status on the biological weapons. Torres asked. Dr. Sarah Kim was aboard the specialized biowarfare vessel used Plague Bearer, monitoring the deployment of her most devastating creations. She had spent years studying Krillian biology, understanding their cellular structure and immune systems. The virus she had created was perfectly designed to target their silicon-based physiology, while being completely harmless to carbon-based human life. Admiral, all bioweapons are ready for deployment, Kim reported. The Krillian-specific pathogen will spread through their population within 72 hours. Mortality rate is 99.7%. Torres felt no satisfaction at the coming massacre. The aliens had forced this choice on humanity when they chose genocide over cooperation. Now they would learn the consequences of their betrayal. All ships, this is Admiral Torres. Today we begin the systematic destruction of the Galactic Alliance. Remember what they did to our colonies, our diplomats, our people. Show them no mercy, because they showed us none. The first wave of attacks began with the destroyer squadrons. Morrison's ships materialized out of quantum stealth, directly above the major Krillian military installations. The quantum torpedoes they fired didn't just destroy their targets, they unmade them at the molecular level, reducing mighty fortress worlds to empty space. The Krillian defense fleet tried to respond, but they were fighting technology they couldn't understand. Their energy shields, designed to stop conventional weapons, were useless against quantum torpedoes that existed partially outside normal spacetime. Within minutes, the entire orbital defense network was gone. Colonel Maria Santos led the ground assault forces that landed on the Krillian military academies. Her Marines wore powered armor that made them nearly invulnerable to alien weapons. They moved through the crystalline buildings like unstoppable machines, capturing intelligence and eliminating any resistance. Santos to Fleet Command, she reported. Primary targets secured. Intelligence data is being transmitted now. The intelligence was devastating. The Krillians had detailed plans for attacks on dozens of human worlds, including Earth itself. They had been preparing for this war for years, building weapons specifically designed to kill humans. The betrayal went deeper than anyone had imagined. Admiral Torres authorized the deployment of the biological weapons. Dr. Kim's virus was released into the atmosphere of every Krillian world simultaneously. The pathogen was designed to spread through their atmospheric processes, ensuring complete coverage of their entire civilization. The Krillians didn't understand what was happening at first. The virus was completely invisible to their medical sensors designed to mimic natural atmospheric particles. By the time they realized they were under biological attack, it was too late. The pathogen had already spread to every major population center. Emperor Zakth of the Krillian Empire tried to contact the human fleet, his crystalline form flickering with the colors of desperation. His message was broadcast on all frequencies, begging for mercy, offering surrender and reparations. Human fleet, this is Emperor Zakth H. We acknowledge our grave error. We are prepared to surrender unconditionally. Please, show mercy to our people. Torres listened to the plea and felt nothing but cold contempt. This is Admiral Torres of the Human Federation. There will be no surrender. There will be no mercy. You chose extinction when you attacked our colonies. Now you will face the consequences. The human fleet ignored all surrender attempts. Ships that tried to flee were hunted down and destroyed. Civilian evacuation transports were vaporized before they could leave the system. The message was clear. There would be no survivors. The systematic destruction continued for a week. The human fleet moved through every planet in the Krillian Empire, each world receiving the same treatment. Military installations were reduced to atomic particles. Cities were bombed from orbit. Industrial centers were eliminated with precision. That left nothing but empty craters. Asterisk. Dr. Kim monitored the biological weapons from her laboratory ship. The virus was working exactly as designed, spreading through the Krillian population with terrifying efficiency. Their silicon-based immune systems had no defense against the pathogen. Entire cities were falling silent as the alien population succumbed to the engineered plague. Admiral Kim reported, biological weapons are performing at optimal efficiency. Estimated complete species termination within 96 hours. Torres nodded grimly. The Krillians had been the first to attack human colonies, the first to betray humanity's trust. Now they would be the first to face complete extinction. Signal the fleet. Prepare for jump to the next target system. The news of the Krillian extinction spread through the Galactic Alliance like wildfire. The other four species finally understood what they had awakened when they betrayed humanity. Ambassador Vex of the Vorthan Federation tried to contact Earth directly, offering to surrender and withdraw from all human space. President Chen received a message in her war room, surrounded by military advisors and intelligence officers. The aliens' desperate pleas for peace fell on deaf ears. Humanity had offered friendship and cooperation, and the aliens had responded with genocide. Now there would be no second chances. Send this message to all Alliance species, Chen ordered. You declared war on humanity through your actions. Now you will face the consequences. There will be no negotiations, no ceasefires, no mess. We will hunt down every member of every species that participated in our betrayal until none remains. The human fleet moved to the next target, the Vorthan Federation. Their bioorganic ships had been responsible for destroying 3 human colonies, including the agricultural world of New Eden, where 2 million civilians had died. The Vorthans would pay for every human life they had taken. Captain Morrison's destroyer squadrons struck the Vorthan shipyards first. The aliens' living ships were helpless against quantum torpedoes that disrupted their biological matrices. The mighty vessels that had terrorized human colonies simply dissolved into component molecules when hit by human weapons. The Vorthan Queen, a massive organism that served as their species leader, tried to negotiate through pheromone-based communication. Her desperate chemical signals filled space around the human fleet, pleading for her people's survival. Admiral Torres had Dr. Kim analyze the pheromone messages. The translation was pathetic, begging, pleading, promising to serve humanity if only they would be allowed to live. The proud species that had participated in humanity's planned extinction was now groveling for mercy. Dr. Kim, deplore the Vorthan's Pacific bioweapon, Torres ordered. Show them the same mercy they showed New Eden. The biological weapon designed for the Vorthans was even more devastating than the one used against the Krillians. It targeted their neural networks, causing complete system failure within hours. The Queen's death screams echoed through space as the pathogen consumed her massive form. One by one, the Vorthan worlds fell silent. Their bioorganic cities withered and died as the engineered plague spread through their population. Within days, a civilization that had existed for millennia was reduced to rotting biomass floating in space. The human fleet moved on to the next target. The Nexari Collective had used their quantum technology to destroy the human research station at Tau Ceti, killing thousands of scientists and their families. Now they would learn what happened when humans perfected quantum warfare. The Nexari had always believed their geometric ships and mathematical precision made them superior to organic species. They discovered their error when human quantum torpedoes unmade their perfect formations at the subatomic level. Their worship of mathematical perfection meant nothing when faced with weapons that operated outside normal reality. The pattern continued across the galaxy. Each species that had participated in humanity's betrayal was systematically eliminated. The Fakari Empire, the Zorn hegemony, every member of the Galactic Alliance faced the same fate: complete extinction. News of the human campaign spread to neutral species throughout the galaxy. The Andromedan Confederation, the Spiral Arm Republic, dozens of civilizations that had remained neutral in the conflict watched in horror. As humanity demonstrated its true capabilities, Captain Elena Vasquez had been wrong about one thing in her final message. The aliens hadn't just awakened humanity's capacity for war. They had revealed the true nature of human civilization, a species that remembered every betrayal, that repaid treachery with complete destruction, that never forgave and never forgot. The galaxy was learning a new truth. Humanity was not the peaceful, cooperative species the aliens had thought they were dealing with. Behind the smiles and cultural exchanges, behind the offers of friendship and alliance, humanity had been preparing for exactly this moment. The age of alien dominance was over. The age of human supremacy had begun, written in the extinction of Every species that had dared to betray humanity's trust. The galaxy would remember the lesson for millennia to come. When you betray humanity, you face not just defeat, but total annihilation. Admiral Torres stood on his bridge, watching another alien homeworld burn beneath his fleet's weapons. The war was far from over. 4 species remained to be eliminated, and humanity would not rest until every betrayer was extinct. The galaxy would learn that humanity's answer to treachery was simple, absolute, and final: complete eradication of those who dared to cross. Then the human fleet moved on to the next target, carrying death to the stars. Asterisk, asterisk,